Hello. In today's video, we shall learn in detail about plant root and its modifications. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding about taproot system, fibrous root system, and their modifications. Let us start with the introduction to plant root system. The root is the descending portion of the plant which originates from the radicle of the embryo. It grows downward and fixes the plant to the soil. It is non-green in color. Nodes, internodes, leaves and buds are totally absent. A root cap, calyptra, is present at the growing tip for the protection of the root. The root bears unicellular hairs. These root hairs increase the absorptive surface area of roots. Lateral roots arise from the main root in dicot plants. These are endogenous in origin and arise from the pericycle of the main root. Roots are generally positive geotropic, negatively phototropic, and positively hydrotropic. Normal roots develop from the radicle, while adventitious roots arise from any other part of the plant other than the radicle. Let us look into the functions of the root. Roots help to fix or anchor the plant with the soil. They help to absorb water, nutrients, and minerals from the soil and conduct them to the stem and other parts of the plant. Roots prevent soil erosion by holding the soil particles firmly together. They also act as a storage organ for reserve food and nutrients. Some roots have symbiotic relationship with certain fungi. Roots play an important role in vegetative reproduction. Next are the types of root system. Two types of root system are found in plants, namely the taproot system and the fibrous root system. All roots that develop from the radicle are called normal roots. The direct elongation of the radicle leads to the formation of primary root. It grows inside the soil and gives rise to the main root of the plant called the taproot. It bears lateral roots known as secondary roots, and these in turn produce the tertiary roots. The primary roots and its branches constitute the taproot system as seen in dicot plants. Example, mustard, mango, etc. The taproot is persistent and produces lateral roots in acropetal succession, that is, younger roots towards apex and older roots towards the base. In monocot plants, the primary root is short-lived and is replaced by a cluster of slender roots that originate from the base of the stem and constitute the fibrous root system as seen in maize, grass, etc. Roots that grow from any part of the plant body other than the radicle are called adventitious roots. By the way, if you're getting some value out of this video, please like and share the video so that all of us can learn, unlearn and relearn together. Also, please consider subscribing the channel and press the bell icon to get instant notification of all the upcoming videos. Now, let us study the differences between taproot and fibrous root. Taproot develops from the radicle of the embryo. Fibrous root develops from the stem. primary root becomes the taproot. In fibrous root, primary root is eliminated. In taproot, the primary root is persistent. Primary root is short-lived in the case of fibrous root. Taproot has lateral roots developing from the main root. Fibrous root does not possess lateral roots. Taproot has only one main root. A number of roots develop at one spot in fibrous root. In taproot, the main root is thicker than other roots. In fibrous root, all the roots are of similar thickness. The taproot grows deep into the soil. The fibrous root does not grow deep into the soil. Taproot is always underground. Fibrous root can be underground or aerial. Taproot grows vertically downwards. Fibrous root grows horizontally in all directions. Taproot are longer and thicker and are found in dicots. Fibrous roots are short and thin and are found in monocots. Next are the regions of the root. The different regions of a root from the apex upwards are root cap, region of cell division, region of elongation, and region or zone of maturation. Root cap, it is a thimble-like structure made up of loosely cemented mass of parenchyma cells that protect the tender apex of the root as it makes its way through the soil. The root cap protects the growing point against friction from soil particles. When it gets worn out, new cells are formed and added to the meristem of the root cap. A slimy mucilage helps in lubricating the roots, acts as an adhesive between root and soil particles, and also influences the uptake of ions. Region of cell division. This is the growing apex of the root, lying within and little away from the root cap. It is the region of meristematic activity. Since the cells of this region undergo repeated division, it is also known as meristematic region. The cells are thin-walled, with dense cytoplasm, large nucleus, and devoid of vacuoles. Between the area of active cell division and the root cap, the cells divide more slowly. It is called the quiescent center. Some of the newly formed cells form the root cap and others form the upper region of the root. Region of elongation. This region is proximal to the region of meristematic activity. The cells in this region undergo rapid elongation and enlargement. This region is responsible for growth in length of the root. Region of maturation. This region lies above the region of elongation. Some of the epidermal cells produce a cluster of fine, delicate, unicellular, thread-like structures known as root hairs. They have very thin walls made of cellulose. The root hairs increase the absorptive surface of roots during the growth period of the plant. Lateral roots are produced in acropetal succession. The root hairs help in absorption of water and mineral salts from the soil. The cells of this region undergo maturation and differentiation into various tissues. Next is the modifications of root. Certain roots are modified to perform specialized functions. Modified taproot for storage of food. They may be fusiform root, napiform root, conical root, or tubercular root. Modified branch root for respiration. They are pneumatophores or breathing roots. Modified adventitious roots for storage of food. They may be tuberous roots, fasciculated roots, nodulous roots, or annulated roots. Modified adventitious roots for mechanical support. They may be prop root or stilt root. They may also be climbing roots or clinging roots. Modified adventitious roots for vital functions. The plants may have haustoria, respiratory floating roots, epiphytic roots, or assimilatory roots. We shall study about them one by one. Fusiform root is the modification of taproot for food storage. It is swollen or thickest in the middle and tapering or narrowing towards both ends, forming a spindle-shaped structure like radish. Napiform root is also a modification of taproot for food storage. It is spherical at the base and suddenly tapers towards the apex as seen in turnip. Conical root. When the root is broad at the base and it gradually tapers towards the apex like a cone, it is said to be conical. Example, carrot. Tubercular root. The taproot, which is thick and fleshy without maintaining any specific shape, is said to be tuberous as seen in mirabilis. Next are the pneumatophores. Plants growing in estuaries and salt lakes have special kinds of roots called respiratory roots or pneumatophores for the purpose of respiration. Pneumatophores undergo negative geotropism and grow upwards. They emerge out of the muddy substratum and appear as spikes. Each such root has a number of small pores or openings called lenticels. The pores are meant for gaseous exchange. This is required since the muddy marshy substratum does not contain much air. Example, rhizophora. The adventitious roots which store food are swollen. These fleshy fruits are of several types. Tuberous roots. The swollen root has no definite shape and occurs singly as seen in sweet potato. Fasciculated roots. A cluster of roots arising from the base of the stem becomes thick and fleshy due to storage of food and is known as fasciculated root. Example, roots of dahlia. Nodulous roots. When the slender root becomes suddenly swollen at the apex, it is said to be nodulous. The swelling is due to the accumulation of food as seen in mango ginger. Moniliform or beaded roots. They are fleshy, adventitious roots which are swollen at regular intervals, giving the appearance of a string of beads. Example, Momordica. Annulated roots. When the roots have a series of ring-like or disc-like swellings on its body, it is said to be annulated, as in ipecac. Next are the modified adventitious roots for mechanical support. Prop root. A number of roots are produced from the main stem and branches. They grow vertically downward, penetrate into the soil, and act as pillars, giving extra structural support to the main stem. Example, adventitious roots of banyan tree. Stilt roots. They are adventitious roots which arise from the basal nodes of the main stem and fix firmly to the soil. They grow in obliquely downward direction, as seen in sugar cane. Climbing roots or clinging roots. They are adventitious roots that arise from the nodes and internodes in plants having weak stem in order to provide support. They penetrate the cracks of the support and get curved, swollen to hold themselves firmly. The roots also secrete a kind of sticky substance to ensure a firm grip, as seen in pepper and betel vine. Next are the modification of roots for vital functions. Haustoria. Parasites develop special kinds of roots in order to penetrate into the tissue of the host plant and suck the nutrients from it. Such roots are known as haustoria. The haustoria establish connections with the host conducting channels, namely the xylem and the phloem. Example, Cuscuta. Respiratory floating roots. They are modification of adventitious roots. In Gesseria repens, an aquatic plant, the floating branches develop soft, light, spongy, adventitious roots which arise from the nodes of the plant. They store air, facilitate respiration, become inflated and spongy, project above the level of water, and is used by the plant as a floating organ. Epiphytic roots. Epiphytes are plants which grow on branches of trees. They establish aerial roots that absorb moisture from the humid air. These hanging roots are surrounded by a spongy tissue called velamen. Velamen tissue is a multiple layered epidermis which is made up of non-living compact cells which can accumulate water from the surrounding air, rain, etc. as seen in orchids. Assimilatory roots. They are green, adventitious roots and take part in photosynthesis. Green hanging roots develop from the nodes of Ctenospora during rains. In Trapa, the assimilatory roots are highly dissected. So today, we have learned in detail about the functions of roots, types of roots, and also about the various modifications of the roots. I have some practice questions for you. Please share your answers in the comment section below. You can pause the video and write down the questions if you like. Thank you so much for your time and participation. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please consider subscribing the channel and press the bell icon to get instant notification of all the upcoming videos. Also, if you want to discuss any particular topic in biology, please mention that in the comments section below. I'll see you there. Goodbye. All the best.